Hey YouTube, how the heck we doing? This just dropped a couple hours ago. This video is the Riot Dev Diary, where they're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and one of it is Teemo's ASU. If you don't know what an ASU is, that is an update to the animations, to the model, not the gameplay, but how he looks. And I saw a little sneak peek, is looking pretty. So we're gonna check it out together, keep you in the loop, and I will be your premier reporter for all things Teemo. So let's take a whirl.
Jeremy, aka Riot Brightmoon.
And I'm Andre, also known as Medler.
So we're back as a follow-up to our previous video.
Also, shout out to them. Riot has been killing it for the last 3 patches in a row. Ever since the holidays, the end of December, start of January, they have been doing amazing with updates, updating the game. We've had some banger patches, so I hope y'all are excited as I am for the future.
We want to keep doing these. As you could probably tell, though, they're a little bit lower production value than some of the videos we've done in the past.
I met Riot Brightmoon IRL, and this guy is handsome, perfect in every single way. I love him to death. I have not met Medler, but Brightmoon is freaking amazing. Anyway.
And that's so that we can get these out to you faster. So today is Tuesday, February 7th. And
I like his shirt. It's got amp tombs, void stabs,
and we're hoping to get this out to you
death
very
caps
soon after.
Heart of gold.
Of course, anything that happens after that, it's the future for us. We can't talk about it,
It hasn't happened.
so we're going to talk about the things we can talk about.
True.
In terms of what we'll actually cover in these videos, we're going to cover a wide range of topics, we think. We're not going to touch much, though, on balance or the state of the meta. Not because we don't think those things are important, but because we think we've got a lot of other channels that can cover those quicker and in more detail than these can. Now, in terms of who you'll see in the videos, it's probably also not going to always be Jeremy and I. In the future, we're going to get a range of people and also talk about topics that they're the experts in. Before we go into our regular stuff, do want to note we're a couple of weeks out from the security breach we talked to you folks about. We're mainly up and running again, but we're still...
Apparently there was a social engineering attack that put them back like a couple weeks. I have no idea what it was. I'm not gonna lie. Does anybody know? Drop a comment. Let me know.
dealing with a few wobbles and rebuilding a few things internally. So thank you for the patience on the disruption that's created.
So let's start with our first topic, new champions and champion updates. Now, over the years on League of Legends, we've had varying levels of focus on, creating new champions or updating older champions, and we reassess that level of investment every year. That helps us build out our roadmaps. So one of the things that we have always committed to, though, is making sure that every champion, whether it's a new one or an old one, is really high quality and provides an evergreen experience for players, even small niche champions. And so as part of that, we're investing more in ASUs. These are the art and sustainability updates. So we've done Caitlyn and we've done Ari, and we're trying to get faster at it. So we're actually doing 2 right now, working on them both at the same time. And those 2 champions that are getting an ASU right now are Lee Sin and Teemo.
Oh, baby. Look at that. That is an in-game model. Teemo looks like he just got like 10 years. He looks younger. Got a makeover. Look at that. That's amazing. That's the base model. Keep in mind, they have to redo everything for what? Teemo's 12 skins? How many skins does he have? Let's check that out really quick. Teemo skins. We're going to get new animations, new everything for all these skins. Let's see, base model, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 skins plus all the chromas, right? Oh, okay. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's got 13 skins. And they're all going to be brand new. That is insanely huge. I'm freaking excited.
Bring a bit more focus on ASUs. We've also had some folks from the new champions team jump over to help out with the game modes team. The result of that is that we should have some meaningfully faster progress on, building new game modes and getting old game modes back in 2023. The trade-off, though, is that we'll also have fewer new champions in 2024.
That's totally fine. I think everybody's okay with that. Give less 200-year champions, more game modes.
Let's also talk a little bit about champion pricing, particularly how it affects new and returning players. League of Legends has been around for a while as a game, and we hope it thrives for many years to come. we want to do our damnedest to make sure that happens. But games like League tend to get more complex, harder to get into as they go along, as they get more content. And one thing we've particularly noticed is that new players who find a champion they really love are much more likely to stick with the game.
And we've heard a fair bit of feedback from you all that our current approach to champion pricing feels a bit out of date. So as a result, we are updating our strategy for champion pricing moving forward. That will mean that some champions will be cheaper in pricing right away. It also means that champions will fall in price sooner than they do now. We have a dev.
They're listening to us. Doesn't it feel like Riot's listening to us and making changes when the community addresses it? Pretty cool.
Blog that is releasing now that will tell you a lot more details about this new approach.
On a different note, we also want to talk a bit about the lore of League of Legends, since it's something that a number of you folks have been asking about. We started building the wider Runeterra universe when it was only League. Things like Legends of Runeterra, Arcane, other games were just pipe dreams. But at this point, they're reality, and we've got plans for a lot of other projects as well. But one point of frustration we've heard from you folks, and that we feel ourselves, is that storytelling in different places can be inconsistent at times, in terms of how different parts of the story or characters of the world are portrayed in different places.
Just saying, we love Arcane.
And we agree, we don't think that makes for a good experience. So we're going to be a lot more thoughtful, a lot more deliberate about how we make a consistent and cohesive wider Runeterran experience. We can't share too many details about that just right now, which I realize is not the most satisfactory answer. But we did want to share with you folks where we're going directionally, what we're trying to do, so that even though it may look quiet at the moment, you've got the context that behind the scenes we're actually doing a lot to set ourselves up for the long run and be able to deliver those really, cohesive stories that I think we're all hungry for.
All right, so let's talk about game modes. It's just going to be a brief update because we actually have a dev blog that's released now that you can read a lot more detail on where we're at with game modes. Two things I want to draw your attention to, though, right now is in that blog, we talk about preseason ARAM changes. What you liked, what you didn't like, and by and large, the feedback has been really positive, with the exception of Tower Rubble. So we're going to be working on that. The second thing to draw your attention to is the 2v2 mode that is still underway, and the blog goes into more detail.
Yo, 2v2v2v2 mode? Okay.
About the gameplay and sort of where things are at, and so I hope you check it out.
Something else we also wanted to talk about was moving some skins and splash out over from Wild Rift to League of Legends.
Yo, I'm not sure if you all seen the Wild Rift. I'll show you why this is typed. The Wild Rift skins are insane. Like, it is like blows League out of the water. Like, look at this one. This is Hextech Explorer. Watch this. Isn't that sick? So if they're moving some over, please, by all means, do it. Look, that's Teemo. How cute is that?
Size doesn't mean everything.
This is a mobile game. I played Wild Rift. First thing I bought was a Mega Squad. Look at a Mega Squad. It's like so much better. Oh, this is League. Let's go Wild Rift Teemo, a Mega Squad. It is so much better in Wild Rift. It's like it's a mobile game. Keep that in mind. Okay, well, it doesn't look that much better. Maybe like the art's better. Let me see. In game, it doesn't look that much better, but maybe there's settings. What about this one? Okay, you get the point anyway. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
We think there's a lot of cool stuff and a lot of opportunity there. We're going to start by looking at porting over some of the most commonly requested skins with Star Guardian Seraphine,
Redeemed, Zaya, and Rakan.
And hopefully more in the future, depending on how those go. Now,
I guarantee you they're going to bring Hextech Teemo over, and I cannot freaking wait. Start saving your Hextech gems, right? Those purple things. Because, like, one, it's going to make them money. Two, they already have it there. Three, it fits the theme. They are gonna import that over. Save your hex tech stuff. The purple, whatever the purple currency is in the client. Let me show you. This stuff. Start saving it. Thank me later. Start saving it and thank me later. This Mythic Essence. There you go. Because he is definitely gonna get dropped right here with other hex tech stuff for sure. So, heads up.
Now, the two games are pretty different under the hood, so we don't yet have a complete handle on exactly what will be needed to do that and the timelines and so on. So we'll keep you folks in the loop. Don't have an exact timeline yet. In terms of splash art, we're also still working to, of course, to update some of League's older splash art, in some cases porting over Wild Rift splashes, in other cases doing some new ones inspired by some of the Wild Rift splashes. That'll be a gradual process. The first one you should see will be Rugged Garen a couple of patches from now.
As you may have seen in the patch notes, due to the security breach, we had to push the start of Clash from where we usually do it in February. We are aiming to get Clash out to you all in March. And this March Clash will also be the official launch of Clash to players in Southeast Asia. So stay tuned for more information about that.
Additionally, also wanted to talk a bit about the ARAM Clash that we tried last year. That was actually really successful. It was a bit experimental. So we're going to be bringing ARAM Clash back in the future as well.
And finally, from a technical perspective, we want to share some of the upgrades that we're making on the server side of things to address some of the pain points we've been hearing. The first is we are increasing our usage of cloud servers, especially when we need it most, to increase capacity. So what this will mean for you is that you'll probably see less and less login queues when you start a game. It doesn't mean you'll never see a login queue, but it should be far less common than it has been in the past.
Second is that in Southeast Asia, we're working to host servers much closer to where players actually are, which should result in a meaningful decrease in ping relative to what pings were like at the start of the year. That'll happen over the next couple of months or so.
Yo, can they do that for US? I'm playing on 50, 60 ping. Yo, bring me a Texas server. You know how many people playing Texas? They should do that for US too. Come on now.
And the third, we're going through a general upgrade to the server hardware for EU Nordic and East and Korea at the moment, which should show overall increased performance in those regions come the middle of the year.
So that's it for us today.
But before we go, as a reminder, if you'd like more details on how we're changing champion pricing or on progress on game modes, please do check out those dev blogs that are going out at the same time as this video.
Let's go check that out as well. Let me give that a like. Let me give that a right comment. The Riot Bright Moon Fan Club. Okay, now let's check what they're talking about, the dev blog, and I've seen that on Reddit. I'm a Redditor. Let's check that as well. I'll have to read it to y'all, but you know. Here we go. This is what they were talking about right here. Okay, so the state of modes 2023. I am Professor Manko. You are my class. So, ARAM. Hey friends, I'm Riot Maxwell, design lead for the modes team. Here to give an update on the projects we've been working on. Okay, so in ARAM, they're going to keep the Frost Gates, the Hextech portal. Balance buffs they're working on. Tower Rubble. Let's see. The most divisive change we made to ARAM was the Falling Tower Rubble. When we look at the survey data, the changes to ARAM as a whole were received very positively. However, the Tower Rubble came back as unpopular. We have many theories as to why, but we think at the end of the day we changed ARAM more dramatically than we needed to. A lot of the combat focus was drawn to choke points and vision and away from normal team fighting push and pull that folks play ARAM first. So we're strongly going to be scaling back the Tower Rubble mechanic or outright reverting it in a future patch. They're listening to us. Who doesn't like a little ARAM? Oh, here is the money. Okay, the new game modes. We've been waiting for, what, 8 years? How long has it been since Odyssey, right? Nexus Blitz? Maybe 10 years or so. Okay, so it's going to be 2v2, v2, v2. 8 players, right? Enter Our Hero, a 2v2v2v2 mode where 4 teams of 2 will pick champions to be paired against another team in several deathmatch-style rounds. Champions will progress in power over the game, gaining items, levels, specialty powers called augments. Any TFT players in the chat? In between the combat rounds. Teams are eliminated after losing enough rounds, allowing you to queue up immediately. Okay. So if you lose, you don't have to watch, you can leave the game. Like TFT. Good. If that sounds familiar, it's probably should play TFT's Double Up. Wow. Am I smart? Are we smart? Awesome. So this is a fun game mode that just quick, boom, you lose, get out of there, run another one. And the augments, if you don't know what an augment is, it's like you get one choice out of 3 and it boosts up your champions. Augments are significant power-ups intended to create unique builds for champions. Okay. So, for example, you'll be playing Teemo, but now all of a sudden, Teemo has 1,000 range, right? Awesome. It creates fun, like, wombo combos. And it's addicting because if you play TFT, I'll lose 5 games in a row, just get one game where I'm like, holy, womboed out of my mind. Rotating game modes. Okay. Currently devoting to delivering new mode to you this summer, so that means we pause support for our existing modes. As the game changes, we have to continue to update those modes, whether it's newer updated champs or items or visible back-end changes. Okay, so we're pretty much not going to get crap until the end of the season. Okay, we're not going to get anything until summer. Summer, we're getting a new mode, and then we'll get the other ones. Okay. Nexus Blitz was promised to re-release in 22, and that didn't happen. We haven't forgot about it. Now we're staffed up. We're dedicating a bit of time getting Nexus Blitz functioning again. Okay. So we have the 2v2v2v2 game mode coming in the summer, and we'll probably have the rest just rotating in and out. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Riot Maxwell, Sakar, and Cadmus. Yeah, that's a lot of changes. So what do y'all think? Teemo ASU, new game mode, new skins, hopefully Hexplorer Teemo. That is a nice... And, of course, on top of the patch, which may as well fill you in right now, I believe... Let's see. I retweeted it, so I'll fill you in on the patch. This will be dropping on the 22nd, I believe. That's going to be all the new stuff. This is going to be the patch. They don't have the official patch notes out, so these are tentative, although they're usually pretty locked in. Vygar buff, Cho'Gath buff, Ali buff, Ari buff, Malphite buff, Kennen pushback, Viego, Aphelios, Senna, Riven, Orianna buff, nerf, Samira, Jax, Maokai, Elise, Amumu, Udyr, Jarvan, Anivia, Azir. System buffs, Relic Shield for support. System nerfs, Spell Thieves, and Spectral Sickle. So the ADC meta on bot lane might be over. This is also big. System nerf, kill experience, kill comeback experience, less snowballing. Treasure Hunter nerf, like snowballing. Demonic nerf to jungle. Jungle itself, Gromp is a little bit less tanky and heals a little bit more. Doesn't really matter. Rift Herald, no longer reset, doesn't matter. You do less damage. So jungle is overall nerfed because your companion does less damage, and to compensate, you kill Gromp 3 seconds quicker. So jungle is nerfed again. They're actually, okay. So this is, you can see it on your screen. Let's break down the patch a little bit before I go. So Vygar on the top, he's getting range buff a little bit. He probably still won't be good. Cho'Gath is getting huge buffs, and Cho'Gath is good right now. He's not played a lot, but he is good. So Cho'Gath Q is getting buffed to be less mana, and the damage is going up. He's having more armor, and the W mana is going down. So Cho'Gath is probably going to be a very viable top and or mid laner. Alistar is getting buffed. His passive heal, his QEP ratio, and his WEP ratio. And Alistar just got some buffs. So you might see a lot of Cho and Ali. I don't think you'll see a lot of Vygar. Ari is getting 20 HP and 3 armor, which is kind of huge. And her R is less cooldown. Huge for Ari. Malphite W is going to be less cooldown. Attack armor ratio of 5%. Cone armor of 5%. Doesn't really matter. I think he's still going to be subpar. Viego's passive can now crit. And R does 3%, 2% extra missing HP. That might make him good again. We'll see. He's good for solo queue. Aphelios attack speed up. Probably doesn't matter. If Senna attack speed up, her R is going to be, it looks like less. Her R is going to be attack speed ratio up. Her R cooldown. That's okay, so they're trolling us. It says RCD, but that's obviously the damage, right? Okay, I don't know how to read that. I'm not going to lie. Riven passive is going to be it looks like buffed. Wow, so Riven's getting buffed with her passive, and it does damage to towers. Ooh, Riven might be really good now. Orianna, three mana, and 3 armor and less mana cost. So Orianna's looking okay, I guess. Riven's looking nerfed. Okay, and nerfs. Okay, I'm about to shit myself. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you're all updated. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm about to lose it.